Bobby V. Robert Thomas Viline, born April 30, 1943, known as Bobby V, is an American pop music singer. According to Billboard magazine, V has had 38 Hot 100 chart hits, 10 of which hit the top 20. Contents. Career. Born in Fargo, North Dakota, to Sidney Ronald Viline and Sama Cecilia Tapanula, he had his first single with Susie Baby, an original song penned by V, that nodded towards Buddy Holly's Peggy Sue for the Minneapolis-based Soma Records in 1959. It drew enough attention and chart action to be purchased by Liberty Records, which signed him to their label later that year. His follow-up single, a cover of Adam Faith's UK #1 What Did You Want, charted in the lower reaches of Billboard in early 1960. However, it was his fourth release, a revival of the Clovers doo-wop ballad Devil or Angel, that brought him into the big time with US buyers. His next single, Rubber Ball, was the record that made him an international star. V's 1961 summer release Take Good Care of My Baby went to #1 on the Billboard US listings and #3 in the UK singles chart. Known primarily as a performer of brill-building pop material, he went on to record a string of international hits in the 1960s, including Devil or Angel US-6, Rubber Ball 1961, US-6, More Than I Can Say 1961. UK-4, Run to Him 1961, US-2, The Night Has a Thousand Eyes 1963, US-3, and Come Back, When You Grow Up US-3. When V recorded Come Back When You Grow Up in 1967, he was joined by a band called The Strangers. V was also a pioneer in the music video genre, appearing in several musical motion pictures as well as in the Scopitone series of early film and music jukebox recordings. He is a 1999 inductee of the North Dakota Roader Award. He is mentioned in the movie No Direction Home, regarding his brief musical association with Bob Dylan and Dylan's suggestion that he was Bobby V after V's regional hit. EMI/UK released The Very Best of Bobby V on May 12, 2008. This package charted in the UK Top 5. On January 17, 2011, EMI/UK released Rarities, a double CD package with 61 tracks, many of which had been previously unreleased. Others included raw alternate takes and first-time stereo releases, as well as tracks from the Bobby V Live on Tour album minus the canned audience. On March 28, 2011, he became the 235th inductee into the Rockabilly Hall of Fame. The day the music died. V's career began amid tragedy. On the day the music died, February 3, 1959, the three headline acts in the lineup of the Traveling Winter Dance Party, Buddy Holly, Ritchie Valens, and the Big Bopper, were killed, along with 21-year-old pilot Roger Peterson, in the crash of a 1947 Beechcraft Bonanza V-tailed aircraft, registration N3974N, near Clear Lake, Iowa, while en route to the next show on the tour itinerary in Moorhead, Minnesota. Viline, then aged 15, and a hastily assembled band of Fargo, North Dakota, schoolboys calling themselves the Shadows volunteered for, and were given the unenviable job of filling in for Holly and his band at the Moorhead engagement. Their performance there was a success, setting in motion a chain of events that led to V's career as a popular singer. In 1963, Bobby V released a tribute album on Liberty Records called I Remember Buddy Holly. In the sleeve notes accompanying the album, V recalled Holly's influence on him, and the events surrounding the tragic death of Holly. Thus, like so many other people, I became a Buddy Holly fan the very first time I heard him sing. I've been a fan ever since, and I guess I always will be. I remember a few years ago, when Buddy was scheduled to appear at a dance in my hometown of Fargo, North Dakota. It was going to be a big event for the whole town, but even more so for me. I was anxiously looking forward to seeing Buddy in action. V continued, the day he was to arrive, disaster struck, taking Buddy's life, along with the lives of two other fine singers, Ritchie Valens and the Big Bopper. The shocking news spread through Fargo very quickly. The local radio station broadcast a plea for local talent to entertain at the scheduled dance. About a week before this, I had just organized a vocal and instrumental group of 5 guys. Our style was modeled after Buddy's approach, and we had been rehearsing with Buddy's hits in mind. When we heard the radio plea for talent, we went in and volunteered. We hadn't even named the group up to that time, so we gave ourselves a name on the spot, calling ourselves the Shadows. We appeared at the dance, and were grateful to be enthusiastically accepted. Soon afterwards, I made my first record. It was called Susie Baby, and I was pretty lucky with it. It was a fair-sized hit. V concluded, for some time now, I have wanted to make an album in tribute to Buddy, but I wasn't sure it was the proper thing to do. However, during the past year, I have received many requests to do such an album. These requests came not only from my fans and from DJs, but also from Buddy's loyal following, still a large group of devoted fans. It gave me the confidence to do the album. From Susie Baby to this present album, I have made many records, but I have never forgotten Buddy Holly and his influence on my singing style and my career. Despite the circumstances of his debut, V went on to become a bona fide star, and regularly performs at the Winter Dance Party memorial concerts in Clear Lake, and often some tribute concerts to the event are performed by his son Robbie along with Jay Richardson, the son of the Big Bopper. Personal. As a child, Bobby spent summers on the Tuamala family farm in Perth, North Dakota, with his cousins. He is half Finnish through his mother, who was Sama Cecilia Tapanilla. He lived in Beverly Hills for decades, but relocated to St. Cloud, Minnesota, then to nearby Collegeville. He is currently located in Cold Spring, Minnesota. V married Karen Bergen of Detroit Lakes, Minnesota, December 28, 1963, and fathered 3 sons and a daughter. His children include Jeffrey Robert Villine, born January 3, 1965, Thomas Paul Villine, born October 25, 1966, Robert Brian Villine, born August 4, 1967, and Jennifer Joan Villine, born May 31, 1972. A number of his children join him on tour backing as his band. He is still active and touring internationally as a performer as of 2008, along with his backup band, The V's, which includes his 2 elder sons, Jeff and Tommy V. His youngest son, Robbie V, is also a recording and performing artist. Bobby V is a recipient of the state of North Dakota's Roeder Award, and his contribution to the genre has been recognized by the Rockabilly Hall of Fame. In 2009, Bobby V was inducted into the Hit Parade Hall of Fame. Bobby V and his sons in the V's travel to Perth, North Dakota, summer after summer to entertain people for the Music on the Prairie concert series, and to participate in the Tuamala and Tapanilla family reunions as both families came together from Canada and America. Bobby announced on the 29th of April 2012 on his website that he was diagnosed a year before as in the early stages of Alzheimer's disease. Current activities. V concluded a long-running engagement at Dick Clark's American Bandstand Theater in Branson, Missouri. He performed in the 8 p.m. Original Stars at American Bandstand show with Fabian, Chris Montez, Brian Hyland, and the Chiffons. In October 2007, he was on tour performing in the last of the Big Rock shows along with Leslie Gore and Billy Crash Craddock in Australia. In fall of 2011, he was in the recording studio working on a new album and writing new songs. Law. Early in V's career, a musician named Elston Gunn briefly toured with the band. Gunn, whose birth name was Robert Allen Zimmerman, later went on to fame as Bob Dylan. In his autobiography, Chronicles, Volume 1, Dylan makes special mention of V and shares significant and complimentary details about their friendship, both professional and personal.